Hi, everyone. It is so good to see you guys. 2 live streams back to back. 1 a week for 2 straight weeks. That's so unlike me. I have so much fun seeing you guys, hanging out with you guys. I'm so excited to do this live stream. This one has been a really long time coming. Say hi if you're here. Oh, I already see some friends. Hi, Susan. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, Lori's here. Jumeal is here. I'm so excited for you guys to be here and to be a part of the stream. We have something very exciting to talk about today, and it is K-beauty. But I didn't want to talk about it by myself. I needed to bring in someone straight from Korea, someone who is in Korea, who works in K-beauty, to talk to you guys about it, because it's someone who knows so much more about this whole industry, this whole line of products, this whole world, knows way more than me because they are in the heart and in the center of it. So I'm really excited for today's guest. His name is Charles. He's had the wildest journey ever in K-beauty. He started as a part-time sales associate in New York, and now he's running brands in Korea, taking products viral online, and really shaping how K-beauty shows up around the world. He has seen the good, the bad, and everything in between. When I was reading everything that he was writing me to tell me his history, I was like, holy smokes, he's seen everything. So I cannot wait for you guys to hear his story and to learn from him. So let's welcome Charles to our community. Hi,
Charles. Hi, everyone. Hi.
Oh, everyone's so excited that you're here. They're so excited to learn from you.
Me too. I've been looking forward to this live for months.
We've known each other for a while. We can get into that backstory later. Yes, this is awesome. Okay, so before we dive into all the K-beauty drama, and we're going to hear all of it, so you guys have to stay tuned for the whole live stream because there is a drama. Like I'm telling you, when I was reading this, I was like, oh my God, we have to talk about this. Let's do an icebreaker question first, okay? So if you could only use one Korean beauty product for the rest of your life, say you were stuck on a deserted island forever, you could only have one thing, what would it be and why?
Well, I've used a lot of products in my life, and Gabby, you probably understand when you end up having used a lot of products, you kind of lose interest. You know what I mean? Like it's everything is kind of similar. So, and I'm a very committed person. I now run a brand, Mimua, and I have to say the only one product that I would use, take to desert island, would be this serum that I just developed and launched last week. So it's a wrinkle serum called Time Block Serum, and this is the one that I'm gonna take.
Yeah. It's brand new. Can you put it like close to the camera? I want to see.
So this is the packaging. I think it's so cool. We spent a lot of time to make it. It is a very functional product for wrinkles and fine lines. So we wanted to kind of we wanted the packaging to convey that, and also this is the. You can check it out on Amazon. It's now live on Amazon.
Nice. So we'll leave that linked. It just launched this week?
3 days ago, I think. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll leave it linked. So after this live stream, if you guys are interested in products, we'll make sure to leave them linked for you so that you can check them out. That's awesome.
I made sure to launch it just in time for this live.
Really? You're working overtime? Oh, that's awesome. What's the active in that? Like, what are the active ingredients?
Right, yeah, I was going to talk about that in the later part of the video, live stream. Volufilant. Volufilant is an active ingredient, and also beta-glucan. Many of you probably know beta-glucan, but I've come to realize that not a lot of people are familiar with the ingredient volufilant. Volufilant is it's just a name. The company that developed it in France, they came up with the name. But essentially what the ingredient does, it helps differentiate fat cells in the dermis. So that's how it plumps the skin by increasing the fat volume in the skin. So actually, a lot of clinical tests say that in 28 days or in 56 days, you do see a visible increase in the fat layer in the skin. So you don't have to apply on the entire skin, entire face. You can just apply on your smile lines, under eyes, or forehead lines, frown lines. That's that's a lot of people struggle with. So,
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
and I
Well,
think it's gonna be a next wave in the KBD industry. You know, the whole PDRN, the retinol that went by. PDRN is doing so well, but I think it's gonna be one of those ingredients that's going to be really popular probably next year. But I want it to be the first and the pioneer.
you guys heard it here first. Because it's true, I feel like everything becomes popular in other places before it comes trickle over in North America.
Mhm.
So I'm sure that if it's going to blow up in Korea, it's going to be here, 6 months later or a year later. That's just how it always is. It's even the same in Latin America. Like things go mega popular, super viral in Brazil, where I'm from, and then we'll hear about it like a year later after my
Right,
relatives
right,
are telling me about it. And then
right.
everyone here's talking about it. My relatives are like, "That's old news." Yeah. All right. Well, let's learn. I want to learn a little bit about you because you're really interesting. And I think that they would, my audience would really enjoy getting to know a little bit about you. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
how did you first get into the industry?
right. Just a little backstory. So I did fashion design. I studied fashion design in college. I went to Parsons. It's in New York. Um, but I hated fashion. I had always wanted to do fashion since I was like 10. So when my family moved to Canada, so I'm a Canadian now by citizenship, and then I went to college in the States. When I first went to college, I realized I don't like fashion. you know, so after years of trying my best to study fashion, in my third year, I had to get a part-time job to support myself to pay the bills. The tuition itself was super big. My parents could not afford to send me enough money for my living expenses, so I had to get a part-time job. And I ended up working at Korean beauty store called Nature Public. It's a very big brand. It's a very old brand. It's been around forever. I started working as a sales associate. Just making the minimum wage. Being on the floor, selling products, and that was my first time. The very beginning of my entry in the beauty industry, and I loved it. Working at the store, talking to the customers. I'm a talker. I love talking. So talking to customers, and also even though I'm a very visual type of person as well, but I'm also I love like the science behind ingredients and the formulations. So I think that's what really interested me. Like the active ingredients and how they work on the skin. And I loved learning about it and also educating the customers who come into the store. And then ever since then I've been in the beauty industry, and I think I've been very lucky in terms of how I've been able to move up the ladder very quickly, but not just by luck. I pride myself in the fact that I'm a avid beauty lover. Unlike a lot of people who only look at the virality, the profitability of the industry, I do look at that as well now that I'm running a brand, and also. But yeah, and then long story short, I kept working at Nature Public, kept getting promoted, and then I came back to Korea about 3.5 years ago, and yeah, and ever since then I've been moving between brands.
How was the transition from you being in New York and then moving to Korea? What was that like? And how did it change or shape your perspective on the beauty world? Because beauty is culturally so different.
Right.
These standards are so different across
Mm.
cultures.
When I worked at Nature Public in the States, I think I only had a little glimpse of the beauty industry just because um, where I worked, the Nature Public was a brick and mortar store. So it wasn't like I didn't get to experience the whole the marketing realm, the online Amazon realm of the beauty industry. So I think I only had a little glimpse, but I did learn how because I saw the vice president talking to the HQ in Korea over the phone, and they were very brutal. they
Really?
kept they kept pressuring him and us for sales, and the way they did it was very. I don't think it was healthy, yeah, conversation. But anyways, that's how much I learned. And when I first came to Korea, I didn't know how to go about like finding a job.
Yeah.
I speak Korean fluently, but I think the because I had never worked at a beauty company before in Korea,
Yes.
so yeah, I struggled a little bit for a couple months, but I was so lucky. I got a job at an Amazon seller of K beauty brands, and I think that was a perfect entry for me because it was a seller. The workload the was not as much as a beauty brand. So I think I would, and also because it was a seller of multiple brands, I was able to try out a lot of great brands at once, in one brand, in one company, but also dabble into a lot of things at the same time, influencer marketing. That's how I got to know you. And also product
Yes.
development, design, web design, graphic design, packaging design. I've done all of that. Yeah, so I think that was a perfect transition where I got to, have a taste of every little thing.
Yeah. So Charles, like, well, let's tell like everyone who's watching, like, how did
Mhm.
you come across me? Because it's hard for people who aren't in this world to understand how
Mhm.
this works. So how
Uh,
did that happen? Because it was a few years ago.
right, it was a few years ago. The first time I emailed you I remember it was in November 2022. um, so because at the time I was working for an Amazon seller company, it wasn't a brand. So the company was only interested in collaborations with guaranteed revenue. And when you do marketing, some brands, obviously all the brands, are interested in that, but some brands do spend money for the sake of, for raising awareness, stuff like that.
Exposure.
But that because it was a seller brand, they were very particular about the revenue. And what I did was I used a third party program called Helium 10, where you can check the sales of other products on Amazon.
Right.
So what I do first is I look up influencers. I try to find good influencers. And then I came across you, but I had to verify that there was a guaranteed revenue. So I checked one of your videos. Let's say you uploaded it on October 1st, and you're talking about one product very enthusiastically. And then I go on Helium 10 and check if on October 1st there was an increase in the sales of that product. And I did see, I'm being very honest, I did see the increase in sales. I reached out to you thinking that, and also I watch your videos, I watch how enthusiastic you are, how like authentic you are. Look at all the comments, seeing if the people are actually resonating with that. So yeah, that's how I reached out to you. We did the first video for Adore. Gabby, if you're a fan of Gabby, she used to talk about this brand a lot. I was the face behind the collaboration.
Yeah. So Adore sponsored several videos. We got into a brand partnership for like 1 or 2 years because when Charles reached out to me, they sent me PR. So the way that it works behind the scenes for creators, just in case you guys are interested, and we will get into K Beauty in a sec, so stay with us. I will say we want to work with you, and I'll say I won't work with you until I test it for a few months. So they'll send me a product PR box, right? And then I'll test it and I'll say yay or nay. So for, I would say 80% of products, I'm like, I don't love it enough to feel comfortable like really doing paid endorsements for it. Giving a glowing review, it's just not authentic. But if I do really love something, then I will accept the paid endorsement because that's my income, and I do this full time, and I have a family, and that's basically my yearly income is through those sponsorships. And because when you're a bigger influencer, you get so many of these every week, you can be really picky and specific. So when I started working with Adore, I love, love, love them, especially their Perfect Hair Fill Up. That's an incredible product for like deep conditioning and repair. And then I started using their thermal protection spray. I just talked about this. I don't even work with them anymore. And I talked about this in like, I think 2 videos or 3 videos ago. Yeah, I still use it all the time. And then this Hinoki perfumed hair oil, I have given this as a gift to everyone and their sister. I have bought this probably 100 times.
That also took the Korean market by storm, that product. Yeah.
This is a beautiful product. Do you want to tell a little bit about it?
Yeah, I think that came out when I was in still working at the seller. The Amazon seller company that I used to work at. One of the brands it carried was Adore, so we had the exclusive right to sell Adore on Amazon. So yeah, so while working, so I kept talking to Adore. You know what I mean? I think after first few videos of our collaborations, the representative from the brand told me that they're coming out with this new products, and I was like, yeah, send them to me so I can try them out and see if it's worth like sending you as a PR and stuff like that. And I loved it. It comes in four scents actually. And it's not just scents. The consistency is different for
Yeah.
damage. The one you're holding is Hinoki.
Hinoki for
Hinoki
regular hair types.
regular hair, and also they have an osmanthus for dry damaged hair. They have lapida for like I remember everything. I still remember
Fine hair.
lapida for thin. And then they also have a our leaf. It's a very like uh, leafy scent, but it's a great scent as well. Yeah.
Patrice is asking, do you not pronounce the L?
Yeah, the L is silent. L is silent. It's Adore. I don't know why, but I didn't ask them why.
Okay, let's play a game.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's play a game called Yay or Nay
Yay,
from
nay.
someone who's in the industry, insider. So, do you like it or do you not like it? And this is a safe space. We are honest here to a fault, even if it
Mhm.
means I'll lose
Mhm.
brands.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is everyone talks about it. It's TirTir.
Here. Mhm. Here.
Yay or nay?
Yay. Yay.
Yay.
Yay.
What do you love about it? Tell me.
Tir was actually created by an influencer in Korea long time ago. They went viral in Japan. That's how they made a lot of money, and um, also they went super viral. You know this from Darcy's videos. Darcy's an amazing creator as well. Uh, but a lot of marketing. Yes, I get it, but the products speak for itself. I've tried all of their products and really good quality, and the fact that they were the first to launch an inclusive range of foundation shades as a Korean brand. Being the first is always difficult, and I respect them a lot for being the first because it's a lot of investment. You never know if you're gonna get enough revenue from doing that. It's very risky being the first in anything. So I really applaud them for the quality, but also not shying away from the risk.
Yeah, I find TirTir to be really innovative and it's quite different. I mean, the foundation's unlike any foundation I've ever used ever in my life. It really is very amazing. But I just want to say thank you to Bronny for the super thanks. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You're the best. Bronny's I love you. You are such a
I've never been on a live stream before, so everything here, the things I'm seeing on the screen, the comments, it's just very interesting. Yeah,
It's fun, right?
it is fun.
Yeah, she must have all the colors. Not only do I have all the colors, I have all the formulas, pink, silver, red. I also have all of the colors in the liquid. I also have all of the colors in the concealer. I have a lot of TirTir, and I also have a lot of TirTir skincare. This one's not even open because I have another opened one. I like saving these for giveaways for you guys so I don't open them. But the TirTir skincare is also amazing. Okay, let's move on to our next one. It is Haru Haru Wonder. I want you guys to play too, okay? In the chat, say yay or nay. Like if you've tried it, just start spamming the chat because that's so fun when we do it all together.
Haru. I haven't tried enough of their products to say yay or nay, but I know a lot of you like Haru. I don't dislike Haru, but it's I'd say neutral. Yeah, or they. I'm just gonna say nay. I'm just not interested. Haru doesn't interest me.
You're indifferent. And you
I'm
were
doing
saying before we went online that Koreans don't use haru haru. Is that
Haru
right?
is not. I haven't seen them on at Olive Young, or Olive Young is like Sephora, if you know. Um, I'm not even sure if they sell online. I haven't checked. It's a brand that went viral in the global market, and there's nothing wrong with that. Well, you make money where you can. Um,
Yeah.
but always, a lot of people, a lot of creators, their content went viral by claiming, oh, a brand that's only popular in America. It's not even popular in Korea. How is that even supposed to be an insult? You know what I mean? Don't think of that as a bad thing. As if a product is good, it's good. It doesn't have to be popular in Korea. It's not like Korean people are like the final boss of validating if a product is good or not. So whatever you like, but always try to get to know the ingredients. I say in my YouTube channel a lot, beauty gets more fun once you get to understand the ingredients and the science behind it.
Yeah. There's two things I want to say. First of all, we have got to address this question. Second of all, Charles just started a YouTube channel last week. I watched his first video. It was so good, you guys. We're going to leave it pinned in the pinned comment below. Please go there, support him, subscribe. He has a lot of really good videos coming out. He's awesome. He knows so much. So go support him. If you love me, you're going to love him too. So there's two things I want to say. So we have this question that I'm going to answer. But I'm also going to say this. So Maria wrote, they always say Korean skincare is the best. That's how come they look so young. So I disagree with that. The reason they look so young is it's genetics.
and all you see are the young looking people. They're, not everybody's young looking. So no. But I think Asian people in general, not that they look young, I don't know. You know what I mean? Which just a different thing. I don't think it's about looking young. I think that there's just a different look.
My husband's Chinese, so I'm allowed to say this because this is coming from him, not coming from me. So don't come after me. But he says we look super young, like in your 20s until you look 100. Like he's like right, Chinese people are like 20 until they look like 100 years old. Like there's no like middle-aged period for them.
And I feel like okay, I don't know anybody, so don't come at me. This world is a lot of judgment. Like it's changing a lot. You can't say whatever you want to say. But yeah, I think the Caucasian people start looking older more quickly in the early stage of their life, whereas as you said, Asian people start looking really old like at the later stage of their life.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the skin, actually. I think it's actually a skin density issue. Like I think you have denser, like juicier, plumper skin, like it's denser skin. So our skin starts showing those fine lines, starts showing expression, whereas like thicker skin doesn't show that. Definitely looking younger and fresher and lovely, and I'm totes jealous. Charles, you look like a teenager.
I wish. I'm 30. 31.
Oh, you're still a baby. Okay, Dr. Muddy, I hope I'm saying your name right. It says, Charles, what have you seen work on 70-year-plus women? This is a great question.
Thank you for asking. But I don't think it's about age. Your skin doesn't change. I mean, of course, it goes through different phases, but your skin doesn't change because you're a certain age. But the general struggles that people face when they get older is, wrinkles and fine lines, and I think dryness as well. So I don't have it with me now, but you have it, the Langbell moisturizer.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, that moisturizer is amazing for dry skin. So always keep your skin moisturized and hydrated, because lack of hydration is can lead to wrinkles and stuff like that. And Gabby has featured that product before in the past. But I also think for wrinkles and fine lines, you need to use good actives. And I can put bet my name on that this new launch of my product will be able to treat that issue. The volufilant, you can check my link tree in the description box. Volufilant is an ingredient that helps differentiate fat cells in the dermis, in the lower part of your skin, right underneath the epidermis. So, dryness and fine lines. I think with this two products, Volufilant that I was just holding, and then the Langal moisturizer, I think that's good enough. You don't have to do like the crazy 7-step, 10-step. That's a marketing gimmick.
Yes, we're gonna get into that. Let's go through our yay or nays quick, and then we have like some deep questions to ask. So the next yay or nay is Laneige.
Yay. Laneige is a very big corporation owned by Amore Pacific, one of the big beauty conglomerates in Korea. One interesting thing I want to talk about Laneige is that their team in Korea and their team in America are completely separate. So the marketing you see completely separated. Very rare. That's why I think the face of Laneige in America is the sweetney. But anyways, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. How about
somebody said nay?
Okay, how do you say this? Because I don't know, but I have everything.
Right. This is the brand I work for right now. Here. I should get used to doing this.
Yeah, you have to block your face so that it focuses on the bottle. See.
But it's pronounced Mimua, but Mimua. It's a combination of two words, mi and mua. Mua as in the sound of a kiss, mua, right? So the brand was created before I joined the team. So the whole motto behind the name of the brand is kissable skin. So mi mua. So helping people achieve kissable skin. To some people, good skin, achieving good skin means the world to them, And we're trying our best to create launch products that can help people achieve kissable skin for their daily boost of self-love and confidence. Because a lot of people, not a lot, but many people struggle with the rosacea,
Yes,
and stuff like that really affects their mental health as well.
Yeah. So when will that new miraculous new product be available in the US? It's already on Amazon, right?
It became available 3 days ago. You can check my link tree. And I made sure to put everything on sale just for people who are watching now. I think it's 40% off now. I never do that kind of sale, but for everybody, just give it a try.
It's 40% off. You put it on for 40%. Oh my God, you guys!
When you launch 40% off, that's miraculous. But I wanted, I really appreciate being here. Really appreciate your followers. That's how our collaborations did well as well. So.
Yeah. Okay. There was another good question that we can do before we do our next yay or nay. What really works for crepey eyelids in the crease area? What do you think? This is hard.
I know what crepey means. Doesn't mean it's a lot of folds.
Yeah, it means it's like, when skin is taut, it's almost like it starts to look like crinkly.
But yeah, I think that's because due to loss of fat in the eyelids. I'm trying to see what really caused that to happen. Maybe lack of moisture. So but I don't. Yeah, I'm a little on the fence about it. I really want to be honest. Maybe try the Volufilant that I was holding up, and always keep or retinol. Retinol could be also a good product, but it's very sensitizing. So I can't really tell you the answer, but always keep your skin moisturized.
Yeah, I think, Christine, one thing that I know works, to be 100% honest, when it comes to like crepiness in the lid, like in the crease, I think if it's something that's like really, really bothering you a lot, it's almost like surgical procedures are kind of the thing that you know is going to fix
Right.
it.
That's what I have in mind.
Yeah, like an upper blepharoplasty. I've had friends that have had it done because of that issue's really bothered them, and I respect it completely. Sometimes with age, your brows drop naturally, and you actually need a brow lift instead of an upper blepharoplasty. If you're not interested in surgical procedures at all, the one at-home device that I do think provides visible results, not surgical results, to be honest, but visible results is a Zip Halo, because it's microcurrent and nanocurrent. So microcurrent stimulates the muscles. It's kind of like exercise, but for your facial muscles. You will see lift from that, but it's still not going to make it perfect. But in terms of skincare itself, I don't know. And I don't think that skincare is really going to make a visibly noticeable difference, if I'm being 100% honest. Lori's recommending eyelid tape. I use that on clients all the time with a lot of crepiness. If it's bothering, like if it's something that bothers them, I would never suggest that if it wasn't, but we'll use eyelid tape, and it just is like for an event or a special night. They use that in the Hollywood celebrities all the time. It's actually pretty popular in Asia too, isn't it?
Like this tape?
It's actually tape that goes in your eyelid that will because with Asians, they have a double fold.
Right? Oh, right. Yeah.
So you can open the lid up. I know that it can be popular in Asian bridal, Asian
bridal. I don't think so. I mean, you see a lot of stuff. I mean, people have a misconception. They see a lot of Korean people, using crazy skincare and products, but they all speak English, right? I don't consider them to be 100% Korean. Yeah. Not judging, but I'm just saying the real culture, people living, walking, the pedestrians, people like that. We don't do, they don't do that. No.
Yeah, I know it. When I did a lot of bridal work, some of my Asian brides would ask for that, but they were like Asian brides, so that could be why too. Yeah, it was kind of like it was in style at the time, but I don't know. We got to embrace and love what we have. But I understand crepiness on the eyelid. It can be very annoying. Try the Zip Halo. I think that's your best bet. And keeping it really moisturized. Okay, the next one is Arve.
Arve is, so if you check my link tree, I'm full transparency. I'm a consultant for this brand. This is a body and hair care brand. They are amazing, just so amazing. The products are super high quality. Funny thing, they started in Korea, obviously, but they went viral in Japan. So they're very big in Japan. And they hired me as a consultant because they wanted to also go to America, go to North America, So I consult them with that kind of stuff. So I tried all their products, and the shampoo I'm holding up a shampoo for oily scalp. My scalp gets really oily really quickly. And this is a body wash. This body wash is the one that's the most popular in Japan by Arve. The W is actually a German letter, according to them. So it's supposed to be pronounced as Arve, actually, Arve. The products are amazing, very cheap as well, very affordable, and I really appreciate that. And this brand is not big at all, obviously not big at all. But one thing that I really appreciate about this brand is that they spend a lot of manpower in collaborating with indie artists. They do a lot of pop-up stores and stuff like that. They really value craftsmanship. And it's a rarity in this industry. Craftsmanship, in this industry, Brendan Rock once said, the creator, it's a money industry. and I gotta, he was being very honest about that. And this brand really stands out among a lot of brands that I work for that I've seen. Yeah. I also put that on, I'm not promoting anything here. 30% off, just because I wanted everybody to really try out what I really love. And
yeah, it's really nice. There was someone else here that says, Susan said, yay, love the facial wash. Yeah, Arve, is that what you're referring to, Susan? It's a really nice brand. The shampoos are amazing. Okay, let's go into getting to know more about K-Beauty. So if someone is brand new to K-Beauty, what's the simplest routine you'd recommend they start with?
Okay, a lot of people seem to love toner, but I'm not a toner person at all, honestly. But I think that depends on your skin type. If your skin is super dry, then go for a toner. Start with the toner. But I always tell people to find a good serum. A good serum is what's important. That's going to treat um, your concerns, like brightening, dark spots, or wrinkles, or super sensitive skin, So always find a good serum for your skin concern, and then always a good moisturizer, and then sunscreen. I think those three are the most important thing. But one thing I really want to say is, in terms of moisturizer, a lot of people seem to go for a really thick moisturizer. But I think the one thing about the thick moisturizers is that you people seem to fantasize about the moisturingness of thick moisturizer. It's like it feels so thick, it feels so good, it feels like I'm pampering, it feels like I'm treating my skin. But if you use a moisturizer that's too thick for your skin, that's only going to break out your skin. So always start with the less thick moisturizer and find the right consistency for your skin. So moisturizer wise, you have to try out a few.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. I just had a question on Instagram. I hopped into Instagram
Oh.
and it's, what about double cleansing? Do you think double cleansing is something that's important? A lot of Asian, or not Asian, a lot of Korean, like K-beauty
Mhm.
brands have like the oil cleansers before or the
Mhm.
balm cleansers. Do you think
Mhm.
that's necessary?
I think it's necessary if you wear sunscreen. Do you wear sunscreen? And you have to wear sunscreen. So I always say double cleansing is important. But some people also argue that keep constantly double cleansing will only strip your skin barrier. But that's true if you use a really harsh, um, highly acidic, not highly acidic, the alkaline cleansers. But find a really good oil cleanser or cream cleanser. I love cream cleansers, honestly. And then followed by a really good foam cleanser, second cleanser. But if you have super sensitive skin, okay, one tip is, if you have super sensitive skin, rosacea, stuff like that, use a lotion. Use a lotion. So or a moisturizer even. The oils and the moisturizer or in a lotion will also melt the makeup as well. But that can be costly, using an actual lotion or moisturizer to cleanse your makeup and SPF. But if you have really sensitive skin, go for a lotion or a moisturizer. Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Mhm.
That's really different. I've never heard anyone say that. I use a moisturizer to clean my under eye fallout when I do really
Right.
smoky eyes. I
You
use it
do
as an
really good tip.
eraser.
Right. Hmm.
And I also use moisturizer to take off liquid lipstick, like long.
Hmm.
So that's really interesting. That's a that's a great idea. Cool. Okay, let's go into our next question. So there are so many products out there. What are the top 2 or 3 K-beauty staples that you think everyone should try first?
So I'm not going to talk about the products, specific products here, but I'm gonna mention the brands. If you check my Instagram, there's a reel that I did like years ago about this brand called ISOI, ISOI. It stands for I'm So Independent. So the brand is super popular in Korea, super big, but I don't know if they even have a marketing team for the global market. I don't see them at all, in the global market.
I've
But their
never heard of
products,
it, and I know
yeah.
everything.
ISO is super big in Korea. They're amazing. They've been around forever. So that's a really good brand. And also IOPE, that brand has been around forever as well. And the first brand to have brought retinol into Korea years ago. Years ago. That brand is also owned by Amore Pacific, that owns the COSRX and what was it, Laneige, the same conglomerate. IOPE, I used to see them when I was super young as well, when I was like 10. Really a good brand with a lot of history in the expertise. And What are other brands? Like Misha, you know Misha, right? Yeah,
I don't know
Misha.
Misha.
You don't know Misha? Misha is also another Korean brand that has been around forever. They are the ones that came out, the first one to come out with the BB cream and the CC cream. That used to be super popular in Korea. I don't see the hype anymore, but ooh, coffee on me. Oh Lord.
Lori, thank you so much. Lori's another viewer who's just like honestly the best at
Whoa.
making my day every
Oh,
single time.
oh my God. I thought that was a.
Coffee on me. Oh, you're the best, Lori. I'm gonna have the biggest, most luxe Starbucks coffee possible on you. Thank you so much. My audience is the best, huh? I don't know how I got so lucky.
I see your comments all the time on your videos, and they love you. They
They're the
they are
best.
in love with you.
I'm very much in love back. It's a very
Mm,
mutual love.
mm. So
Okay,
yeah,
Terry is
Misha,
asking.
yeah, oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. Look, someone just wrote actually, Terry, I'm going to come back to you. But Patrice just wrote, Misha Time Revolution just went on my face.
Niche Time Revolution is a very popular lineup from Misha as well. Yeah, they have really good skincare, and also, um, but they don't have an inclusive range of foundation, BB creams and stuff like that. I think, but up to I think like light brown skin. I think that works. But yeah, they OG brand. That's the perfect word.
Yeah, Terry's asking, where do we? Oh, there we go.
That's
This
the
is
title.
Lori is backstage. You guys know Lori. I shout her out a lot because she's literally my favorite person. She put this out for you guys. This is awesome. They're asking, so Terry, I believe, was asking where she can get the new products. We're going to put that linked in the pinned comment. Lori backstage, if you can link that even now, if you have a second, that would be great because if people want to go ahead and get to it
Mhm.
and see it right now. But I think we should move on to.
Mhm.
I think we only have 15 minutes. I want to, guys, look at how many questions I have.
Right. Yeah. Time
We're
passes
gonna have to
really
do a
quickly.
follow-up.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think we need to get to our hype versus reality portion of this live stream
Mhm.
because this is really interesting. And if you guys have more questions, just keep feeding them in. Oh, I just want to acknowledge this comment because Hug Dealer, I love your name so much. I've read your comment a couple of times and it literally warms my heart so much. And I never got a chance to tell you that directly. But whenever you're on the lives and you say this, it literally makes my day. It really does. Like sometimes I feel really nervous to do these live streams and I see you and like I really appreciate you saying that. And I hope that Susie and I maybe are like long lost twin soulmates or something. Okay, so let's get into hype versus reality. And you guys can keep asking questions if you want. So the first question I have for you is some K-beauty products go mega viral. This one. Are they always worth the hype, Charles? Or is it sometimes just really smart marketing?
Let me look at what I wrote down. I really wanted to focus on what I say in this part.
Are you nervous?
Right, okay. So this is lower. Right. Yeah. So, it could be worth the hype. It could be a great product. It could be a great product, but smart marketing. Smart marketing. The truth of the matter is, I have not seen any product that went viral like naturally. So that never happens. So smart marketing, but worth the hype or not, I think it depends on the quality of the product. But usually, I think it's worth the product. Honestly, there is no such thing as a bad product anymore. With the innovation we have, we've come. The K beauty and American beauty, European beauty have come a long way. There is no such thing as a bad product that doesn't work. So yeah, I think most products are good. But
Yeah,
smart
I think
marketing, a lot of marketing.
Yeah, there can be very exaggerated claims. I used to work at the shopping channel, so this is like a little bit of a heads up. I used to do makeup for the brands that were selling at the
Mhm.
shopping channel as a makeup artist. And the before and afters, there's tricks, okay? So there's tricks to make the before look worse and the after look better. And I'm just putting it all out there on the table. So for example, say you're doing a complexion product. If you add one of two things. You can add a little bit of powder so the skin looks like dehydrated and dry in the before, and then you do the application. And because of the difference from the before and after, it's like, whoa, but the before was an exaggerated before. The same can be done with, say you're doing like a pore blurring primer product, okay, and you're showing them before and after. Even if you're not photoshopping it, does the person in the before shot have like oil, like baby oil on their face? Because that's going to accentuate the look of the pores. And then the after, it's just the real after. Marketing is very deceptive. And I just want to tell you guys that because there's been a huge movement towards no filters, no this, no that. And I think that is so amazing and it's so needed because before it was just like one gigantic amount of bullshit. Like the before and afters were just like photoshopped afters.
Mhm.
But even with that, there's still like tricks that are being done to make the before look worse and the after look better. And if you don't think it's done, I think you just don't know enough. And I hate to say that, but it's just
Mhm.
the truth. Would
Mhm.
you agree?
Totally agree. I also talk about that part in my first video on my YouTube channel. All the before and after photos, not all, okay, allegedly, are on Amazon, are Photoshopped. So I also shop on, I used to when I was in the States. I used to shop on Amazon as well. I don't trust them, and it's just my defense mechanism, I guess. Because I know as someone who works in this industry, I disregard them. But what I believe are the customer reviews and ingredients. Ingredients cannot lie. So I look at them, the potency, the concentration of ingredients. But the before and after photos, really, no, not. No.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's in your video actually that you launched last week, you were saying like if you want to know if a product on Amazon's amazing, like don't even bother looking at the before and
No,
after
don't
photos.
bother. No,
Yeah,
no.
like go read the reviews, right? I thought that was great
Mhm.
advice because it's, like I've worked in marketing behind the scenes, you too, like I had as a makeup artist, you had in so many other ways. And like, we just know that it's just
It's
not.
not the way. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so our next one's okay. Do brands ever intentionally create viral moments or controversies to sell more products?
Right. So I'm not gonna say the name of the brand, but this happens all the time. For example, one makeup brand, you can guess all you want, but I'm just not gonna say the name of the brand. One makeup brand create a moment where the influencers are backlash, like attacking them, not attacking, but talking badly about the brand, intentionally calling out on the not inclusive range of foundations. Like the Korean brands always don't have never have an inclusive range of products, so they talk badly about the brand. And then a few months after that, they all they upload more videos again, saying how, oh my god, they listen to us, they now have an inclusive range of products, and both those videos, went viral. So people might think, and I see the comments as well, a lot of people seem to think that, oh, they listen. They probably, the marketing team in the company, saw the videos going viral, calling out on the not inclusive range. And then they started going to the lab, creating more foundations. No, but I do appreciate the brand for coming out with an inclusive range of products. There's nothing bad about that. It's just the marketing side. It's not that it's bad. It's just no. And then I see another skincare brand now. Making influencers upload a lot of videos, just simply saying, "Oh, this product is so good. Why didn't nobody tell us that?" And they don't talk about why it's good. They don't talk about the ingredients and blah 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 and stuff like that. And all the comments are like, "Why is it good? Like, how long did it take?" And they, days after that, upload another video saying, "Oh yeah, I was talking about how good this product is. This product is because it has blah blah blah." You know,
Mhm.
like it's a scenario. It's a script. You know.
Yes. It's actually, I'll tell you guys a little bit more insider information. I made this whole video a little while ago that said I love my job, but it's breaking me a little. And it had some stuff to do with this, you know, like sometimes I'll get a brand that will send me products and they want to do a sponsorship, right? And it's a lot of times it's skincare. And they'll say, okay, this is the script you need to read. And I'm like, hold on, like, that's not how this works, you know? But it's like, you need to say this, and then you need to say this, and then you need to show the results, and you need to show that your skin looks like this before and it looks like this after, but you have like 3 days to film, edit, and send it to us. And I just got the products 3 days ago. I'm like, there is no chance in hell that if I use this for 3 days, you're going to see any difference whatsoever in my skin. I haven't even tested this. And I think for newer creators that are struggling creators, it's really hard to say no to those deals because they're so highly paid, right? And they need to survive. Being a creator, it's a lot, it's really time consuming and it's a lot of work. So to not make any money is difficult, right? So what do the younger creators do that, you know, need the income? They're like, well, I'll just do it this one time. But then it becomes like the next time and the next thing you know, it's all lies, you know, it's all lies. And how can you sleep? I think you get used to it. I said being a creator is like being a lobster in a pot of boiling water. Like at first you're in the water and it's cold and you're like loving it. And then it starts getting harder and harder. And the pot starts boiling, but it does it really slowly. And next thing you know, you've been in it for so long that you have like no ethics or morals left anymore. And I think that can be said even for like Korean beauty marketing or any beauty marketing, not even K-beauty. Yeah.
Oh,
Amy is
Amazon.
asking, is Amazon counterfeit?
No, Amazon sells, you know, a lot. Most brands sell on Amazon, but there are a few dishonest sellers selling counterfeit products. Actually, check my video on YouTube channel. I talk about how not to get scammed, how to find the actual, the legit product sold by the brand. So check that out. It's complicated, but you'll get used to it.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay. Blanca said, I have to say, I absolutely love Korean beauty products. They've truly changed my skin for the better. I'll never stop using them. And of course, I always read reviews. Yeah. All right, you guys, we have time for like maybe one more question. Okay. We've answered a few of these already. So let me see if we can find a good one. Okay, I have a really good one here. What's one K-beauty trend happening in Korea right now? Because you just said sometimes it's different, right?
In Korea, right. Mm-hmm.
What do you
so
think?
In Korea, the one ingredient that's popping up, every brand is making it. Sungbun Editor, I used to work for that company. Milk Touch was under the same company. Numbuzin, a lot of brands are coming up, and also Equalberry, the one that's trending now. Every brand is coming out with an NMN ingredient. NMN, when you go on Amazon, you probably know this as well. People take it as an oral supplement in the North American region a lot, but now Korea is coming hard with that ingredient in the skincare. And funny thing, I also launched NMN product a few weeks ago. I mean, it was an existing product, but I include NMN. But NMN is highly regulated in America. So what Korean brands are doing is they come out with the NMN product in Korea, but for the global market, they use the ingredient NAD, NAD, or however they pronounce it. It's short for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, I think. Yeah, so whatever I think NAD, that ingredient is going to be very popular, both in Korea and in America. And also Volufilin, I was talking about that because it's one of the products I just launched like 3 days ago. The reason why I say this, not a lot of brands are coming out with Volufilin right now. But again, I'm an expert. I did market research. I think it's going to be the next thing next year. But I'm glad that I took the first spot. I think it's going to be very big. So NMN, or coming out as NAD in America or in Canada, and Volufilin.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you see NMN in the title or whatever, read the description. It cannot be NMN. NMN is highly regulated in America, so it's always NAD in the form of NAD. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So one more. Are
One thing-
K-beauty products
Mhm.
actually different from Western ones, or is it just the marketing that makes them stand out? Like, are they actually different, or is it the same?
Well, I just like Western food and Korean food. I think everything has a lot of similarities. They're just in different forms. Like the ingredients that go into, like, let's say, pepper flakes. It's not like Koreans are the only one that use pepper flakes. Tomatoes. Italian people eat it, we eat it, American people eat it. But I think it's just how they're made. But what I see is the Korean brands always tend to have a higher concentration of the active ingredients, and I think that's partially because the manufacturing cost in America or in Canada is just so high. So the minimum wages and stuff like that. Excuse me. So the active ingredients concentration is always high. And also the trend changes quickly in Korea. But I've come to notice how, because I lived in the States as well and in Canada, the market is more conservative. People are more interested in the good old things. You briefly mentioned how in Brazil, your friends, people know, and then a year later you find out about it. I think that's a very different different aspect about the trends in the North American region and in Korea. Korea changes so quickly, but in America, I think people seem to resonate more with products that are already they've loved for a long time.
Oh, that's so interesting. So you find that in Korea, people turn over their
Right.
their
It's always about the new thing, the new ingredient. Yeah.
Julie just wrote, I just ordered the 3 products listed. Thank you so much for the discount. I'm excited to try these.
One thing I wanted
you have
to
let us know what
say,
you think.
I wanted to say was, because you mentioned about the influencers. The young upcoming influencers get, they succumb to the scripted content and stuff like that. And I see a lot of people, regular people, coming at influencers being like, you're dishonest. I mean, like, I get it. Some of them are very dishonest, but on a human level, sometimes you have to understand, what I mean, the emotions and the actual life, and also brands. We K-beauty brands do a lot of viral marketing, fake, dishonest marketing, false marketing. But now I'm the brand, not an owner, but I run the brand, as an executive brand director. One thing I wanted to say on this live is that the pressure of like taking everybody in the team, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's hard. I want to keep everyone in my team. I don't want to let anybody go. But at the end of the day, it's a business. I am getting emotional talking about this. But I'm the person that has to speak to the CEO and like show to the CEO that everybody's worth taking with.
Yes.
But we have to make money, and if it's viral marketing, that's going to bring us a result. I would gladly do it in order for me to take everyone. So I want everyone to not just bash the brands or the influencers. There must be there is always a different story behind the curtain.
Yeah, you're really right. I think that influencers can get a lot of hate, and even I'm in a really lucky situation where, like, I'm turning 40 in a few months. I've had a long career before this. My husband has a great job. He's an engineer.
Ooh.
So I can like pick my things really carefully. But I also understand that that's not everyone's situation. And a lot of the times, I'm not saying to ever be dishonest, but even when I do a sponsorship where I've tested the products for 3 or 4 months, I'll still get lots of hate comments about like, everything you do now is sponsored and this and this. And it's like, I do work on this channel 60 hours a week. Like I have to make money or else I have to go get a job. You know what I mean? So there
And
is,
you also
hard.
have a team of people to pay for, right?
I have a
And
whole
you know,
team to pay for
right?
it,
You
yeah.
have editors. The people edit videos. That's a job. That's a great job. But I'm just saying, they think it's a business after all. Meaning, like you have a team of people that you want to keep hiring.
Yeah, I
You
know.
yeah. It's yeah.
I know it can be difficult. I totally understand. I know, I totally understand. But regardless of all of that, you guys, K Beauty is really
It's
amazing. And I love how you described it like Asian food and
yeah.
American food. I think that's a great way to describe it.
Mhm.
That's so perfect. So check these out. Again, there's going to be a link tree in the description box below. We're going to put some stuff linked in the pinned comment as well. Go check out Charles. Can we pop up his link again? Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on YouTube. K Beauty Expert. There's a lot of really good content coming out over there. And we are really honored to have you. So thank you so much for coming
Well,
today.
thank you so much for having me. I can't believe this is our first time actually speaking with our voices. I've seen her videos all the time. She saw my YouTube channel, but we used to always communicate, via DMs, Instagram DMs. But I think I've been living for this moment. Like I've been waiting for this moment my entire life. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you everyone who joined the live. Thank you for spending the time to watch this live. I hope it was enjoyable.
Yeah, everyone loved you. We're already getting all the comments. You have to reread them after. Thank you guys. And honestly, it was a pleasure and an honor to have you. And maybe one day we can meet in person too.
Hopefully you and Laurie can come to Korea, and I'll gladly usher you at home.
That'd be the best. All right. Thank you guys. Have an amazing rest of your night. This video's over.